Good afternoon. On behalf of Rock Nation, Miguel Cotto Promotions, the Dallas Cowboys organization, and HBO, I'd like to thank you for attending today's luncheon, and most importantly, wish everyone here a happy and a healthy new year. Just some quick fight facts. As you know, on February 25th at the Ford Center, at the Star, we will witness the big return of boxing legend and Puerto Rican icon, Miguel Cotto. This will be the first pay-per-view fight of the year and Miguel's 10th in his career. We're very excited that this fight is on pay-per-view. This fight has been priced very attractively at $49.95, a great value for the entertainment that's going to be offered by these two great champions. As I mentioned, this will be Miguel's 10th pay-per-view fight. Miguel Cotto belongs on pay-per-view. This fight belongs on pay-per-view. And again, $49.95 is the price. In James Kirkland, Miguel faces an opponent that is aggressive and lethal. He's a great opponent. He's a warrior. He's got lots to prove. This is absolutely a statement fight for James Kirkland, and he'll talk about that later this afternoon. I also want to point out that having Ann Wolfe in his corner obviously will give James the confidence to be the best that he's ever been. And so he becomes a very formidable opponent for Miguel. This fight is going to be all about entertainment. As I mentioned, it's a great value at $49.95. And we all know that this fight with these two fighters, these guys are going to come and it's going to be a brawl. It's going to be action-packed. People want to watch that. People want to see that live. And as I mentioned earlier this week, over 50% of the inventory in Dallas has already been sold for this fight with 7 weeks left. That's a real strong indication that people are excited about this matchup. There's great anticipation. We've got a great promoter and partner in Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. They are promoting this fight very aggressively. And again, to have over 50% of our inventory sold during the holidays is absolutely tremendous, and quite frankly, it's exceeded our expectations. On either Monday or Tuesday, we will announce a very, very talented and exciting undercard, highlighted by many Mexican fighters, other Puerto Rican fighters, and fighters from the Dallas and Texas market to add a local flavor. Again, as it relates to the main event with these two great champions, this is a setup fight. The winner of this fight goes on to a huge fight in 2017. There's lots at stake here. Both fighters are in training camp. Both fighters will be at their very, very best. Both fighters understand what this fight means. So the stakes are high. The stage is set. We appreciate you coming out here today to listen to Miguel and James. Before they take questions, I'd like to open up the floor to James, Mike Miller, and of course, Miguel, for any comments. James.
Foremost, I want to be able to thank pay-per-view, thank Rock Nation, and definitely my team, and Miguel Cotto for helping me with this opportunity, and definitely want to be able to make the fans proud and excited to see this match. We're definitely in camp, just as well as Miguel Cotto, and putting on a tremendous show as far as driving to the next limit and making sure there's no limitations to how far to push me to get into this outstanding victory.
Hey guys, from Team Kirkland, we just want to thank Rock Nation, Pay-Per-View, HBO Pay-Per-View, Team Cotto for the opportunity. We look forward to showing our talents February 25th. Texas is our home state, and with Andrew Wolf training James, he's never lost. He's got a tremendous knockout record percentage, and we look forward to the upcoming weeks of training and the final, when the bell rings, we're going to be ready come February 25th. Get your tickets early. Texas is going to come out proud and strong for James, so you better get them early. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Miguel?
I'm happy to be here. I have my camp start 3 days ago, and I'm committed to this fight. I'm committed to look the best way possible for February 25th, and I'm in charge. Fred is in charge of my camp. Fred is the captain of both, and I trust in him, and I know I'm going to be ready for February 25th. Thank you.
We'll now open it up to questions.
¿Algún mensaje para tu público en español?
No, estoy bien, estoy preparado para el tiro, no preparado, estoy preparándome para el combate, pero estaremos listos para el próximo 25 de febrero. Gracias.
Question was how ready he's going to be for the 25th. He says, of course, he's going to be 100% ready to give us a great fight.
Miguel, habla sobre regresando al ring después de un año y regresando con Freddy.
The question is about the comeback. You've been off for over a year, and now you're coming back and with Freddy.
Me encuentro bien, gracias a Dios, pues regresamos hace unos días al gimnasio, me he sentido de maravilla. Freddy me ha hecho trabajar muy bien y sé que el próximo 25 de febrero no tenemos ningún problema y subiremos en la mejor condición posible para obtener la victoria.
You know, I feel real good. I've been working with Freddy for a couple of days. He's putting me through the paces, you know, getting ready. And there's no question in my mind that I'll be at top physical shape for the 25th.
Miguel, esta podría ser tu última pelea. ¿Y qué posibilidades de una revancha con Canelo si es que sigues en el boxeo?
Estamos...
Is this going to be your last fight? Are you close to your last fight? And what about fighting Canelo in the future?
Estamos pensando en James, estamos entrenando para James, estamos poniéndonos listos para el próximo 25 de febrero y es lo que tenemos en mente. Lo que venga después, pues vendrá después.
Right now, the only thing in my mind is James Kirkland getting ready for the fight. And after that, we can think about what's next or, you know, whatever comes up. But right now, the only thing in my mind is James Kirkland.
And Michael, since you being the promoter and the head of this division, looking at Miguel's next fights, do you have like a time frame of when do you want to see him back in? And do you expect him to be back in? Historically, he's fought in June. Is that going to be the next date?
That's entirely up to Miguel. As he just said, our number one focus is on February 25th. After February 25th, I'm sure Miguel and his team will begin to think about the future, but that's the only thing that we've discussed at this point.
Would you like to fight again in June, Miguel?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
James, you yourself are also coming off a long layoff. Do you feel this is the perfect fight for both you and Miguel?
I believe it's a tremendous opportunity for myself, but as far as from Miguel, I felt like this is going to be a good event, good opportunity for me and Miguel to be able to take advantage of this opportunity and put on a great fight for the fans.
James, I think a lot of fans are excited knowing that Ann Wolf is going to be in your corner for this fight. What are you looking forward to in this camp? And if any, are there any things you're not looking forward to in this camp?
Dealing with Ann is not interested in knowing what the next day is held when it comes to training, but when it comes down as far as what to look forward and what to expect out of camp, just to put like there's no limitation to what we're gonna go through to get to be able to succeed in for fight time, you know.
Do you feel like she gets you better mentally for a fight?
Definitely when it comes down to mentally preparing myself and physically preparing myself, and definitely knows how to push me to the next limit till it shows.
This is for both fighters. It's no secret that you're closer to the end of your career than the beginning, and you must be thinking about your legacy. If you had to define what you think your legacy is to the sport, what would that be, and how do you see this fight adding to your overall legacy?
When it comes to me, I feel like getting an opportunity to face Miguel Cotto was somebody that I looked up to in boxing and seeing his career, the tremendous change that he has brought to the game. You know, for me to be able to get the opportunity to show what I can bring and take my boxing skill to the next limit is definitely something that I can definitely put down in my boxing ability and things that I have accomplished in boxing.
And what do you think your career has meant to the sport?
To this point, man, I feel that my career is it definitely needs to get put back on a rise and show that not just to the fans but to the to boxing itself, to the sport of boxing, that Kirkland is definitely a disher. It means someone's going to go out there and put on a great show, not just for the fan, but for himself and for the sport of boxing.
And Miguel, the same.
Could you repeat the questions?
Sure. As you look back now toward the end of your career at your legacy to the sport, what do you think that is, and how do you think this fight will add to your legacy?
This fight is going to be the newest chapter in my career. I'm going to take it. I'm going to handle it in the best way possible. I'm going to do my best first with Freddy in the gym, and then the night of the fight to make my family proud this time. And then my legacy, I can't control what people can say about me after I'm retiring, but all I do in life is for my family, for my kids, and that is going to be my legacy, what they think about me.
Miguel, there was a lot of talk before about you fighting Juan Marquez. How serious were those negotiations, and what happened that didn't make that fight happen?
We didn't get concrete this fight, and never happened. That was all.
Were you interested in, was that a real possibility at one point?
I think both parts were interested in this fight.
He said the weight was an issue, that you kind of changed your mind towards the end of those negotiations, that's why the fight didn't materialize?
He knew all the time our answer on this chapter, on this topic, and he already knew everything about us.
Miguel, me gustaría tu respuesta sobre la pregunta del legado que querías decir.
No, yo no, es algo que yo no puedo controlar que quiera pensar el público de mí después de retirarme del boxeo, pero el único legado que me interesa es lo que yo pueda dejar en mis hijos, y es lo único que me interesa.
The question was about the legacy, to do it in Spanish. He answered it in Spanish.
Se estaba negociando algo con el market. ¿Nos puedes hablar un poquito al respecto de eso?
Nunca se concretó, nunca llegamos a acuerdo Juan Manuel y yo, así que hemos estado siempre abiertos a negociar con él, así que cuando él quiera, estamos abiertos.
Question was about Marcus fight. He answered it.
Hey, Michael, he was also linked to Tim Bradley. Could you speak on what happened to that and if that was ever a serious fight that was going to happen?
I mean, there was some interest. You know, as you know, in this sport, there are fights that can be made and there's fights that can't be made, and you know, we weren't able to bring that to closure. Most importantly, we're excited about this fight and excited that James accepted the opportunity to fight Miguel.
Follow up on that. Are you open for that opponent for him if he gets past James in the future? Or is it?
That's entirely up to Miguel.
Mm-hmm. Are you open, Miguel?
I'm always been here thinking the best names out there.
Michael, who is the next fighter that if one of these guys wins? I mean, one of these guys are going to win, but who's going to be the next fight one?
As I mentioned earlier, we're taking it one fight at a time. You know, and Miguel has a big challenge in front of him with James. Once this fight is over, Miguel and his team will decide, you know, what the next step is. But we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We're taking it one step at a time.
James, when this fight was announced, many writers said that this is a roadmap for Cotto to get back to Canelo. Can you speak to your motivation, if you haven't or have not read the articles when this fight was announced? Have you heard that? James, that's James.
Oh, honestly, man, whoever Miguel is going to face next, or what that fight may help with that next person, is totally up to them. But when it comes down for me and Miguel Cotto, we're focused on February 25th. So writers and the fans or whoever may be entitled to looking at this fight should only be focused on February 25th, because that's when the opportunity for me presents itself, and I'm definitely going to put on a good show.
Can I follow up, Michael and Tony? I'm not sure if this is a question or not, but I think boxing fans would be really interested in James Kirkland's training camp. Would that be a YouTube series or an HBO series? Is that all possible?
HDR, automatic.
Since he's back with Ann Wolf, and everyone loves Ann Wolf's training, about how intense she is, or would it be a 24/7 or something like that?
There will be some programming that's that's going to be produced for showing on HBO that will look at the training camps and the fighters. I'm not sure what we're going to name it yet, but there will be some new stuff that you guys haven't seen before. Absolutely, we agree with you.
Thank you.
Miguel, en realidad, ¿cuánto tiempo más te ves peleando? ¿Tienes algún plazo o simplemente lo que te deje tu cuerpo?
Estamos hablando de la pelea, la próxima pelea del próximo 25 de febrero. Estamos enfocados en ella y no hay cabida en estos momentos para hablar de esos temas. Creo que después de la pelea de febrero 25, pues nos sentaremos y decidiremos hasta dónde ir, hasta cuándo queremos.
The question is, when do you see yourself fighting for a long time? How long do you think you have? Right now, you know, let's do February 25th. Let's get the fight done, and then we'll think about what's next. But right now, the focus is the 25th, not thinking about anything else.
Miguel, esta es tu última pelea con Rock Nation. ¿Hay planes de expandir este contrato más tiempo según lo que te diga tu cuerpo después de la pelea con Kirkland?
Como mencionamos, estamos trabajando, estamos en preparación para James Kirkland el próximo 25 de febrero, luego el 25 de febrero, el 26 de febrero hablaremos de qué sigue mi carrera.
Obviously, this is your last fight with Rock Nation. Are you going to extend the contract with them? Like I said, all I'm thinking about right now is the 25th, getting the Kirkland fight, getting it done, and on the 26th, we'll see what's next.
James, how grueling is working with Ann Wolf? We heard the stories, we read the things. From your point, how hard is it going through a camp with her, and what do you go through?
Honestly, when it comes to just working with Ann, we have a reputation between ourselves is that I'm definitely going to give my all. And as far as motivation and push me to next level, she's definitely one of the people that I can say that can bring the best out of me.
James, did you see Miguel's last fight against Canelo? And if you did, what'd you make of it? And who you fought won?
I did see them both put on a tremendous show, and I think they did an excellent job as far as who wins and who lost. You know, depends on how everybody else feels about it. You know, I have my picks and what I think and what I may believe, but in boxing, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I'm interested in what you believe, though. Who'd you felt won the fight?
That's not for me to say. Like I said, I just like to see great performance, and they put on a great show.
Miguel, you said that you started training camp about two or 3 days ago. What's it like to finally be back in camp with Freddie?
It's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be sweating a lot during our training sessions, and I know Freddie has everything set for our training camp, and we are going to do it as always in February 25th.
And the second part of that question, Miguel, is during the off time, have you been like doing some like exercising and training? If so, was it like light training or heavy training?
I've been away from the boxing gym a lot, but I'm always keep myself doing something not related to boxing, but doing something.
Miguel, at this point of your career, is a long layoff like the one you had a benefit?
I rest a lot. I hear everything I got in the last years, and I'm ready to fight.
Miguel, looking back at your soon-to-be Hall of Fame career, what fight would you want to rematch? Who would you want to rematch? And why?
I enjoyed every fight. I did my best in every opportunity, whatever fight I had again. I know that I will do the same, the best.
So no one?
No.
What about you, Freddie? Who would you want to see in a rematch?
Obviously I thought he won his last fight, and rematch would be great there. And Miguel tells me if I was in this corner with Mayweather, we would have kicked his ass. But I mean, if these guys, what's next? Who knows? But right now we have a tough fight in front of us, and we're getting ready for that fight. And I did send my guys out a couple times to work with them. Margaret went to visit them, and in Puerto Rico, and Gavin went a couple times also. And just keep them fresh and not forget entirely about us.
Freddie, obviously you've dealt with this with Pacquiao. Is it difficult to get a veteran fighter up to speed after a long layoff?
Everyone's different, of course, but Miguel, the last 2 days, he's been great. We've had a little bit of layoff. We had a little dust off the body pad, and we did yesterday, and the body punches are fucking hard. Yes, I beat blood last night. but it's good to be back to work, and I'm happy to have him back in the gym.
Miguel, do you have designs to fight for another world title, or at this point in your career, is it just maybe one more signature win to kind of cement your legacy?
I don't think about it. I think that I accomplished enough in my career. I'm happy with the way my career being done by everybody around me, and I'm just happy. I'm not thinking about any title. It's in my mind right now.
Miguel, after so many years and so many accomplishments, how is it you still find the hunger to get up there and take the hits and get up and train?
I'm still having the same kind of mind. I want the best for my guys, my child. I want the best for my family, and that's why I'm here.
Question for Michael about the promotion of this fight. Can you speak to the difference and what can we do better on maybe both ends as media and you to, I'm speaking of Kovalev, Ward, and now Kirkland and Cotto. What was the missing pieces to elevate the promotion? How can we be better? How can we do that?
That's the best question of the day. I think you need to accept these fights for what they are. You know, in all transparency, when the first story came out about this fight from a reporter back on the East Coast, you know, they were very negative. For what reason, I don't know. You know, there was discussion about, you know, is this a pay-per-view worthy fight? This is arguably going to be the best entertainment, you know, of the year in the sport. And you got two guys that have a lot to prove. Two guys that when they get into the ring, they're going to battle. They're going to throw punches. They're not going to dance around. They're not going to hide. And when you think about why people buy pay-per-view, or why they buy any form of entertainment, they want to be entertained. And it's about the value proposition, right? $49.95 to see two great fighters battle for as long as the fight lasts. That's a great value proposition. And so, and to answer your question directly, that's what the media needs to talk about. They need to talk about great entertainment at a great value. The return of Miguel Cotto, one of the greatest fighters that we've seen over the last 10 to 15 years. That's what the focus needs to be on. The focus doesn't need to be on whether it's pay-per-view worthy. That's not the question. That's not the issue here. Okay? That's for another day. So, I'd love to see you and your fellow media members get behind this fight. Talk about the great entertainment. Talk about the return of Miguel Cotto. Talk about James Kirkland and what he has at stake in this fight. Okay? Talk about their legacies. Those are the things that we should be focused on. And if we all do that together, boy, is it going to be a great success. It's going to be a great success at the live gate, and it's going to be successful on pay-per-view. So, appreciate the question, and we do appreciate everybody's support. So thank you.
Michael, based on that response, what's the symbolism in Jerry Jones' involvement and this being the first event at the Ford Center?
You know what? I think it brings a great level of excitement. You know, when we were thinking about this fight, we weren't sure exactly where it was going to go, but at the end of the day, as I stated earlier this week, you know, sometimes there's challenges, you know, in first quarter because of the NBA and the National Hockey League and those schedules. So we decided to be a little bit creative, and you know, Jerry and his team reached out to us and said, listen, we've got this great new facility, we love boxing, we're very passionate. We just had an incredible, successful event with Canelo at AT&T Stadium. We know that this market supports boxing. What about coming down to Dallas, Frisco specifically, and being the first public event at the Star? And we said, you know what, that's a great idea. I mean, Jerry Jones, as we all know, is one of the greatest promoters in the world. His NFL team has the largest Hispanic following of any team in the National Football League. And it relates to their marketing and their business operations, which is spearheaded by Chad Estes, one of my dearest friends in the industry. They're the best of the best. So going to Dallas, going to Frisco, we have an incredible new facility. We've got a great promoter in Jerry. We've got a great team, the Dallas Cowboys, that are going to market this very aggressively. I mean, listen, on Sunday the 15th, when the Cowboys play their first playoff game in the postseason, we're going to be promoted in front of 80,000 people in that stadium. On the Jumbotron. throughout the concourses. Where can you get that? That's amazing cross-marketing and cross-promotion. So for those reasons, we felt that the Star was the perfect venue and that Jerry and his team were the perfect partners.
Did you have to trade in your Giants hat for a Cowboys hat? Or
Listen, you know, we're friendly with the Cowboys. Des Bryant is our client from our sports division, so you know, obviously we've got a very close relationship with the Cowboys. Jerry is very close to Jay-Z and Juan Perez, who heads up our sports division. They spend quite a bit of time together, so this was natural for us.
Miguel, habló Michael ahorita sobre la asociación con Jerry Jones. Habla usted un poco sobre eso.
Can you talk a little bit about Jerry Jones being part of the promotion?
Entiendo que como menciona Michael, Jerry Jones, el señor Jerry Jones es una persona que conoce, que lleva años con su franquicia de los Cowboys y entiendo que es como dice Michael, es el partner perfecto para este evento en Dallas.
You know, like Michael said, Jerry Jones is a great promoter. You know, a lot of respect for his team, the organization of the Dallas Cowboys, and it is great to have him support this event.
Miguel, what was it like? We saw you on the field at Dallas Stadium, meeting Des Bryant, all that. Speak on what that experience was like.
It's different, you know. NFL is a huge sport here in the U.S. In Puerto Rico, we are part of the United States, but in Puerto Rico, we doesn't follow NFL a lot. It's getting bigger every year, but it's not like here. For us being there with 100,000 some fans there rooting for his team was an amazing experience for us.
And I have a follow-up question. Obviously, you're looking at retirement soon. A lot of fighters have a hard time getting away from the sport, but I don't feel that you will. I feel that once you retire, you make the decision and then you'll...
You are never going to come back again.
You already making a comeback?
No.
Oh. Well, I was going to say, speaking on that, like a lot of fighters have issues kind of walking away, but I don't feel that you...
I have other things in life. I spent too many years here in boxing. I have kids. There are no kids anymore. And I want to spend with them the most part of time possible, just and being the best dad I could be for them is the most important thing for me.
A couple questions. First for James. Your last common opponent is Canelo Alvarez. Is there anything that you learned from watching tape when Cotto fought Canelo and you did that you learned from the fight?
There's definitely a lot that I learned when I saw them two battle each other, and Tom did actually got to fight Alvarez. So at the end of the day, boxing definitely a learning experience, and I definitely enjoyed the time to be able to actually get in the step in the ring with Alvarez is just what I'm going to be able to step in with Cotto. So, like I said, I learned a lot, and I plan on, like I said, every time I step in the ring, I plan on trying to up my IQ when it comes to the boxing game.
And you've had a couple of layoffs. Do you think that's actually helped you in light of medical research today? For instance, John Jones from the UFC said layoffs are helping him because of the brain trauma, the sparring and the fights. Do you think that helps you and it'll extend your career?
Not really. I mean, because the more active, the more you learn, the more that you're involved, the more that your IQ, your level of the boxing game can exceed. But as far as time away from the gym, time away from certain things, I only feel that it's it can be a bad thing at the same time. It's a good thing. I don't know if it makes sense, but time you get to spend with your family and friends and stuff at the same time, that you neglect from the sport. It's always good to be in the ring, getting punched on, banged on, so you can your body can be able to take those impacts or blows or whatever. I'm just focused, like I say, February 25th and preparing myself for that event.
And for Miguel, a couple questions. You could fight anyone and put people in their seats, and you see superstars like Canelo fighting Liam Smith and Broner's fighting a guy coming off a loss. Why fight someone as dangerous as James Kirkland, who has one-punch knockout power?
It's been typical in my career that we are always looking for the best opponents, the best challenges out there. James was the best and dangerous one out there, and following our style, we look through him. That's why.
And then just last question for you. The incident with the plaster with Margarito years ago, you were able to rebound from that fight, whereas other fighters like Billy Collins wasn't able to rebound from that when the fighter had plaster in their gloves. And for you to be able to do that, how can you talk about your fortitude and how you were able to do that?
Just Margarito is a chapter in my career that we hide it in a deep way to never look back and never think on that again. And I'm just past this the thing that Margarito did to us. I'm only work hard enough to climb up and to forget about what happened this day.
Are you aware that he made a return to boxing, and what's your take on his return to boxing?
Excuse me?
Margarito, are you aware that he made a return to boxing, and what are your thoughts on it?
What Margarito been doing with his life and his career is up to him.
And Freddie, can you follow up? I saw you shaking your head like with the Billy Collins thing and the plaster and the gloves. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's just an issue that I think, honestly, he should be in jail for attempted murder. I mean, it was like, the penalty wasn't enough for me at least. But the thing is, I saw Miguel come back from that, and it was a great comeback, and he is stronger and stronger every day in the gym, and back when we first started after that fight, we did have days that were maybe bad days, and then after a while, positive thinking, positive people around him, he told me, hey, that's all gone now, and I'm glad to see that, and he's working great every day.
Miguel and Freddie, I know the answer to this question, but the obvious question to boxing fans probably all over the world is, if Mayweather and Canelo don't take the fight, the next biggest fight is obviously Pacquiao-Cotto.
The only way this fight can happen is if Freddie went to chair corners.
Go ahead, speak to that, Freddie.
It's definitely, I think, I'm sure Miguel would love that one.
I'm not going back to 47.
And I wouldn't get away with the catch weight this time. So, we can a little bit, but the thing is, I think that they're in the gym together sometimes, and it's okay for a little while, but then you have to separate them a little bit. There's a lot of stuff there. They were opponents at one time, and they're somewhat friends now, but the thing is, our fighters are ever friends? Maybe not. But the thing is, I respect both of them a lot, and they both have careers going on right now, and it doesn't look like they're going to meet each other, and Manny and Miguel both know that, behind them both very, very much, and I couldn't work both corners. And if that ever did happen, I would have to sit home and watch it on TV.
And Miguel,
No, they can't spot.
can you speak on that, Miguel? Because, I mean, I was a collegiate athlete, and I hate the schools that I lost to in a championship game. So, can you elaborate on Manny Pacquiao?
I respect.
And he actually hits your punching bag.
I respect Freddie. I respect Manny enough to. They always been a gentleman with me, with my family, with my career, and all I have to say to them is thank you for respect me. Thank you for the way they've been with me, and that's all I have to say.
Michael, talk to us about the fight actually being in Texas. Obviously, Miguel has sold in Orlando, where there is a predominantly more Puerto Rican fan base up there. Texas is obviously more Mexican based. Why Texas?
As I mentioned earlier, I mean, you know, in February there's not a lot of choices, quite honestly, when you talk about major markets that host NBA and NHL teams. So you have to be a little bit creative. You know, was Dallas our first choice in all transparency? Probably not, but we found a great option in Dallas in light of this incredible facility, the Star, and obviously in light of the fact that we've been able to partner with Jerry and his team and the Cowboys. So we think, you know, it's a great setting. You know, obviously James is from Texas, and we think that's going to help. And we're going to create a great undercard. You know, so from top to bottom, it's going to be a great night of boxing, and we have one of the foremost promoters in the world that is helping us promote this fight and giving us his 100% support. So all things considered, it's the right place for the fight.
And Miguel, follow up for you. Considering the fight is in Texas and you've been able to sell over 50% of it already, does that go to show how much you've actually gained the respect of fans, even considering that Mexico is the biggest rival of Puerto Rico?
I've been a fan of Mexican boxers my whole life, and I feel a lot of respect for Mexico. I love this place, and being accepted by their community is another accomplishment for me.
James, this is this is your home turf. And certainly you must have sold some of those tickets as well. And your last fight was in Texas. How important it is to you to get back to those fans in Texas that know you and show them a different fight this time?
Most definitely is, I'm overwhelmed with the opportunity, but more than ever, I'm anxious to get in the ring and to put on a great performance, you know. Since the last fight, learning and looking back and seeing the fight and the mistakes that I made, a lot of different things. I'm definitely eager to get back in there and just show my fans that, hey, look, Kirkland is still a rising star, and he's still someone that's going to make a stand in boxing, and just to put on a good show for Texas and everybody's out there and was in love and got the passion for boxing.
James, do you have a prediction, and how do you visualize the fight going down?
Say it again?
Do you have a prediction of how the fight's going to go, or do you visualize yourself winning a fight in a couple of different ways?
No, never. I don't have a prediction. I just know that I'm going out there to give it my all, 100%.
And Miguel, beef sells a lot, and you guys have mutual respect, and it seems like that's a lot of fighters today are doing that on purpose, are purposely going at a character to start something with a rival fighter. Can you talk about why you've always been calm and collective, and that's never been your characteristic of you? Can you talk about that?
You have to be professional in the whole way. You have to represent professionalism in every corner. The only place where we are going to be enemies is in the ring next February 25th. I wish him the best camp he could ever have. I'm going to do the same here in Norway, and is to go there and present a good show, a good fight for the fans, and I know that I'm going to put my 150% to do it, and that's the way I am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Two last questions, guys.
Michael and Tony, last one for me. In this social media, digital media age, with a lot of new content coming online, we've learned about these fighters like Victor Ortiz or Guerrero through the shows on HBO, Showtime. But now everything's going online, and we don't know about the fighters on the undercard. Are you going to be looking at producing more content where we're learning about the guys on the undercard and even the main event as well?
Tony, why don't you go first? Yeah. Yes, the focus will definitely be on the main event. Historically, the main events are what people focus on, and while we have this press conference, and we will do some original programming. We've already started interviewing, James and Miguel. But on the social media side, we have a department that does social media that will also focus on the undercard fighters. So you're going to get a lot of that also from HBO and from the camps and from Rock Nation. So
like video on Twitter and Facebook?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we know that fans consume their media in various ways, and we're going to make a concerted effort to get it out in every way possible.
And just to further expand on that, at Rock Nation, we're fortunate to have a very large social and digital department. So they will work hand in hand with HBO and James and his team and Team Cotto to promote this fight as aggressively as we possibly can. We understand the importance of social media. We understand where people are getting their content today, and that's a big part of our plan. We'll also have the advantage of leveraging the Dallas Cowboys as well. They also have a very large social and digital department, a very large social and digital following. And so when you combine that with what we're going to do at Rock Nation, what HBO is going to do, what both Team Kirkland and Team Cotto is going to do, we'll be pushing this out, both the main event as well as the undercard, very, very aggressively over the next 7 weeks.
Miguel, can you speak to the catch weights? And I want your personal opinion. I was at the Cotto-Canelo fight, and when I saw Canelo take his shirt off, I was like, wow, this guy's a light heavyweight. And I looked at you in the other corner, I'm like, this guy's literally 160. Can you speak to, do you think that catch weights are good and bad? And is there a problem with making weight? And then when you wake up Saturday night, the guy is 30 pounds heavier.
I've been in both sides of the plate. Some people on my side use them against me. But it's what it is, If Freddy he's going to look for the benefit for his the guy who is in charge, his boxer, and if I know from the beginning, if I knew from the beginning that I didn't get able to get to 145, I didn't sign the contract. I said yes in the beginning, in the day of signing the contract, and then make any kind of criticism during the road to the fight is a thing that you have to be not professional to do it. If you say yes the first day, you have to maintain and keep your word the whole way.
And Fred, if you want to add that?
I actually don't like catch weight, but the thing is, we have used it to benefit our fighters, and we're always looking out to get the best for your fighter. It's like I'm here with Miguel right now, and I'm always out for his best interest, for 100% behind him. And at that time, I was with Pacquiao, and Pacquiao was gonna, we figured we'd make him drop a couple more pounds because he's a lot bigger and stronger guy than Pacquiao, and So, catch weight is a part of life. It's legal. It's part of boxing at this point of our lives. Just, I would like to get rid of it, yes, but I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.
And James, same question. I wanted to ask you about Canelo's weight going up 20 pounds the night of the fight. And you walk and then, well, you gained some weight as well, but I'm just speaking of Canelo's weight at 155 and then be at 180 night of the fight.
At the end of the day, I felt like Canelo prepared himself for a great fight. And he hydrated the right way. His team was there from 100%. So at the end of the day, man, when it comes down to just being 100% prepared on every level, they did a successful, great job.
Miguel?
Those are the questions.
It's a
No, we said 2 more. Let me just say in closing a couple of quick comments. First and foremost, again, thank you on behalf of HBO, Team Kirkland, Team Cotto, the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, and of course Rock Nation. We appreciate you coming out and supporting us today. As I said earlier, we need your support on this fight. We need your support. This is an industry that has a lot of challenges. And if the media doesn't get behind it and help promote it and help sell the good things about this industry, there will be no fights down the road. So we need you as a partner to support us, to encourage fans to get behind this fight. You've heard from these 2 fighters. This is going to be a great night of entertainment. This is going to be a great fight. These 2 guys are going to battle so hard on February 25th. It's got all the makings of an epic fight. So we appreciate what you'll do over the next 7 weeks. We thank you for coming today, and we look forward to seeing you in Frisco on February 25th. Thank you so much.
Tina. Pause it. Pause.
Got anybody behind you?
Oh, you do.
I move the microphone. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
Guys, come forward. Just get a little bit back. Guys, right here, please. Right here. James,
Thank you.